All right, for the first time in live stream history on this channel, I am a couple minutes early. I apologize, but I did not know when that was gonna end. I actually almost timed it out perfectly, except for the fact that apparently there was confusion on the sideline. I I can't fault the officials for making the right call there, but D'Amico, as he took responsibility for it at the end, squanders an opportunity for 3 points because the clock was running as soon as the ball was placed. So, look, D'Amico has made very few game management errors, and this is not a classic game management error like botching a 2-minute drill. Well, it's a botched 2-minute drill, but in an extremely weird fashion. That 2-minute drive started exactly the way you should in doing something that I think the Texans couldn't do last year. Look, the rushing yards were easy. You want to burn some time off the clock, but they could actually run the ball with Joe Mixon and burn some time but still get first down. Joe Mixon ends the first half with 55 yards on 9 carries. Nothing spectacular, but you saw him run for first downs. You saw him truck a dude on the sideline. Damian Pierce gets in with 1 carry for 4 yards, which so far so good. That's better than last year, at least on average. That's a whole nother the whole Damian Pierce situation versus Cam Akers. That's a post game. I think so far between the Texans' new passing attack and Anthony Richardson coming out, this is going about as well as I think you could hope or expect, except for the one explosive play by Anthony Richardson. This is the key in facing this Colts offense is avoid the explosive plays. The huge Jonathan Taylor run from Week 18 last year, the 2 touchdown runs by Anthony Richardson in Week 2 last year. They've done that. Richardson's getting some yardage on the ground, but I'm not overly concerned about it at this point because the linebackers, it is night and day, and that's with Henry To'oTo'o out there, not Christian Harris. But I think that they've done a really good job of being patient on the RPOs. We saw Alshire with a chance for an interception, but partly because he was up in the run, came back, got in position to make the play on the ball. So the difference between Alshire and some of the guys they had playing Mike linebacker last year, that's already paying dividends. The 2 quarterbacks, look, CJ obviously was some big plays to Nico Collins to Stefon Diggs. The throw to the sideline there on the second to last series with Nico Collins, where Nico dropped it, or no, the last series, Nico dropped it, but then on the very next play, catches one over the middle. I think he's shown his precision, but the fielding, I think, has been a little bit of an issue. The one series that really annoyed me was, let's see, we had uh, it was the one where Laramie Tunsil jumped off sides. That one annoyed the hell out of me. They had, partly because Laramie's had 2 false starts now already. Let's see. Nixon ran the ball. CJ hit his own man in the back. So obviously, even though he had an open wide receiver, that was a misfire. Laramie's false start, and then DeForest Buckner comes around on a game and just doesn't get picked up by Shaq, I believe. So like that was sloppy. That was ugly. That was the only real blemish in terms of what the hell are we doing here. There's been other sloppiness by both teams, but on the Anthony Richardson side of things, look, we know he's capable of making great throws, but we've also seen the downside to him where he's airmailed a couple of footballs. The interception. Okay. The interception to Kalen Bullock. Yes, his receiver slipped. I'm not convinced that it was a perfect pass if he hadn't slipped. I think there's still a chance that it probably caroms off the receiver at that point, so maybe it's not an interception. But that was a good tightening up of the defense on a series where the they they were converting third downs. They were kind of methodically and steadily moving down the field. But the linebackers, not just Alshire, but Henry To'oTo'o as well, they're doing a much better job of making the right reads, tackling well. Like some of these positive runs where you got Jonathan Taylor at this point, 10 yards, 30 or 10 carries for 30 yards. So, son of a bitch. Is the audio off? Fuck. Fuck me. All right. Jesus Christ. Oh, okay. Is it just you know what? I checked the audio beforehand. Really, really on a roll, wasn't I? Yeah, alright. Settings. D no, it should be fine. Alright. It's not off, it's just muffled. I don't know what's going on then. Alright. Sorry, everybody. Alright, some of you are having mic issues and some of you aren't. I don't know what the hell the deal is, but anyway, so there we are. Stefon Diggs. Okay, 2 big plays. The Derek Stingley, the Alec Pierce touchdown. Look, read body language from these defensive backs. Jimmy Ward was pointing to himself after that play. I think Jimmy Ward was supposed to be over the top. Derek Stingley, Derek Stingley, who was trailing and thought he had help over the top. We can go back and watch that later. The one big one that concerns me was on that cover zero blitz where A.D. Mitchell was wide open in the end zone, and this is what you get with Anthony Richardson. I mean, he's made some great plays. He does concern me in the run. He's gonna get his yardage running the football. He's averaging 9 or 10 yards per carry right now, uh, averaging 10.8 yards per carry. As long as you can limit him and keep him from those 40-yarders or so, then so be it. Like, it's not ideal, but this is the toxic brew when you've got a quarterback who can run like that. You're gonna have to concede some things at times. So I'm okay with Anthony Richardson getting some yardage in the run game, but he's just not a consistent passer. These are the things where and sometimes people in their mind have a notion of Anthony Richardson as a guy that's just playing the ball all over the place all the time. No, it's the throw here or there. It's the throw to the sideline that he airmailed in the first or second series. It's that throw to A.D. Mitchell where they had an easy touchdown ready to go. So fault the Texans defense for not having that stuff covered up, but also I'm okay with it because this is who Anthony Richardson is. You can't allow these explosive plays. That could have been an easy touchdown to A.D. Mitchell. Part of this is that was a cover zero blitz. They sent 2 guys. You got to get there. You got to get home, and they did a good job. I think Richardson sniffed that out. So whatever the tell was, I went back and watched it once. I didn't see people creeping or anything, but Anthony Richardson made a good call on that and understood what was coming. He just couldn't make the throw. And so that's what you get with Anthony Richardson. The turf being the issue that it is, just like in the Brazil game the other night, I think guys will have all of their they'll have all of their 7 studs in by then. But like so far so good. Stefon Diggs getting involved. Tank Dell obviously getting involved. The one nice catch he had on the field goal drive, the first field goal drive, that's exactly what you hope to get, right? Tank Dell's wide open. Tank Dell was wide open with room to run afterwards. Stefon Diggs open for a slant. Look, this is the stuff that Buffalo was doing with Stefon Diggs last year, running some of the shorter stuff, but it didn't matter because everybody on the opposing defense knew that Stefon Diggs was still the guy they actually had to worry about. There's gonna be opportunities like this. I'll say just for my personal ego, I'll say so far, I think this has kind of played out the way that I thought it would with the receivers. You're never gonna be able to predict which one of these guys gets 100 yards receiving in a game, but I think they're all gonna have opportunities for touchdowns because there's gonna be times where they're open underneath and that there's room to run afterwards, like it was with Tank Dell on that first down. Right now, Nico Collins, 3 receptions for 79 yards. Tank Dell, 1 for 23. Stefon Diggs, 3 for 21. Dalton Schultz has got 3 receptions for 16 yards. We saw Joe Mixon get involved. We saw Brevin Jordan. Was Brevin Jordan the one that caught the ball when CJ was throwing from his knees? Say that. Oh, the mic is too close. Okay. I'll just stay back here. I'm a little bit excited. I'm just you know what? So far so good. The run game is gonna be different. The one play where Joe Mixon this makes me feel better. When Joe Mixon got tackled, wrapped up by DeForest Buckner early on or no, that was Grover Stewart. The that was a timing issue, it wasn't a physical issue. They had that blocked up pretty well, but between Laramie and Kenyon, either Kenyon thought that Laramie was gonna take over Grover Stewart, whereas Laramie thought that Kenyon was gonna stay on him. and Grover Stewart ends up unblocked, but it wasn't because he was physically destroying guys. With the run defense, I'm very happy with the play of the linebackers. I think that we've seen a couple plays where the Colts, that one play, that one nice run where they ran duo, where you're just double teaming the defensive tackles, trying to put them into the laps of the linebackers. That's where we saw whoever the defensive tackle was in the game at the time. I think it was Mario Edwards. I'm not calling him out for this. I don't know who it was, but that's where you saw some of the downside to some of the body weight dilemma that they find themselves at defensive tackle. Foley Fatukasi looked fine on that play, but if the Colts decide to really mash and just double team and play old school football, that's where I think I could foresee some issues. But so far I'm good. Yeah, I Henry To'oTo'o looks like a different human being, doesn't he? And look, he could have tackled Anthony Richardson on that one play, but I chalk that one up to Anthony Richardson being Anthony Richardson. We've seen a couple times so far with Henry To'oTo'o. He's got 5 tackles so far, 3 solos, 1 TFL, really nice TFL. So far so good. This is gonna be a good game, man. They just gotta limit the explosive plays starting back up. Everybody have a good one. Thanks for joining me. I apologize for the minor audio issues, but not as bad as they typically are. Here we go.